Hello and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing what goes on in the minds of serial killers. This is a topic that has fascinated people for years, and is often depicted in popular culture. But what really drives these individuals to commit such heinous crimes? The first thing to understand is that not all serial killers are the same. They come from different backgrounds and have different motivations for their actions. Some are driven by a need for power or control, while others are motivated by a desire for attention or fame. Criminologists say it's important to understand that serial killers are not just monsters. They are human beings with complex psychological profiles. They often have a history of trauma, abuse, or neglect in their childhood, which can lead to feelings of isolation and detachment from others. So what goes on in the mind of a serial killer? We spoke to a psychologist who has worked with several convicted killers to gain some insight. Psychologists say many serial killers have what we call a dark triad of personality traits: narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. This means they have a lack of empathy for others, a desire for power and control, and a willingness to manipulate and deceive those around them. It's also important to understand that serial killers often feel a sense of detachment from their victims. To them, their victims are not real people with families and loved ones, but rather objects to be used for their own twisted purposes. Serial killer said, "I didn't see them as people. They were just something to satisfy my needs." This detachment can lead to a sense of euphoria for the killer during and after the act, but it's often short-lived. Many killers experience feelings of guilt, shame, and remorse after the fact, which can lead to depression and even suicide. It's important to remember that the victims of these crimes are real people with families and loved ones who are left to pick up the pieces. By understanding what goes on in the mind of a killer, we can work to prevent these crimes from happening in the first place. So, how can we prevent serial killings? Well, it starts with recognizing the signs. Many serial killers display behaviors that can be early warning signs, such as a history of violence or abuse, a fascination with weapons or death, or a tendency to harm animals. It's important for communities to come together and report any suspicious behavior to authorities. This can help to prevent potential killers from slipping through the cracks. If you see something that doesn't seem right, don't hesitate to report it. It could save someone. Another key factor in preventing serial killings is addressing the underlying issues that can lead to this type of behavior. This includes addressing mental health concerns, providing support for victims of abuse and trauma, and improving access to resources for those who may be at risk for violent behavior. By addressing these issues, we can work to create a society that is less likely to produce serial killers. In the end, it's important to remember that the victims of these crimes are real people with families and loved ones who are left to grieve. By understanding what goes on in the mind of a serial killer and working to prevent these crimes, we can help to bring an end to the senseless violence that has taken so many innocent lives. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you found it informative and helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this.